Right guys, hello and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. I haven't done a video in ages, but I thought I'd make a video on the European Super League, the new thing that everyone's talking about right now. This channel isn't so active, I don't know how many people are going to see this, but I thought I'd put it on here so at least I can look back and it's a place to give my thoughts essentially on the whole situation. And if anyone wants to comment on it or leave your thoughts in the comments down below, then feel free if you do see the video. But this is going to be discussing the European Super League. I'm sure you've all seen it. This news has gone absolutely mental, hasn't it? So I thought I'd give my thoughts, discuss everything that's been going on really, because this is a really, really dark time for football. Let's set it straight. So without any further ado, let's begin. So let's start with a few details then. Basically, there are going to be 12 teams as of now entering this. We've got the top 6 in the Premier League. So Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, and also Liverpool, of course, are going to be there. So the top 6 in the Premier League. You've got Atletico Madrid, you've got Real Madrid and Barcelona from La Liga. And then you've also got Juventus, AC Milan and Inter Milan from the Serie A. So they actually say this can be starting as early as August 2021. And essentially what the Super League want is for this to replace the Champions League. So in their dream world, they want the leagues to continue as normal, the Carabao Cup, the Copa del Rey, the Italian League Cups, the FA Cup, all of that. They want everything to stay normal. They just want to run over the Champions League with this Super League of like all these teams playing against each other every week. And you've got to say, let's set it straight, this idea is awful, it ruins football, it's a sad idea, it's crippling the clubs, the fans are devastated, we've all seen that all around social media platforms now, just ruining the game, ruining the competitiveness of it, we'll get onto loads of details later, but just to set it straight, that's their idea basically, for anyone wondering what this is in short. And I think now we're just waiting to see what happens. As I said, there's been so much news going on in the past 24 hours. It's been absolutely mental. One of the most mental times probably actually we've had as football fans. We look at some of the threats that UEFA now are making, of course. They're saying there's going to be bans for players. So players who participate in the Super League aren't going to be at the Euros, aren't going to be at the World Cups. Of course, they're not going to be in next season's Champions League. That's not going to happen. You look at this season's Champions League, what's going to happen there? Are they going to give the Champions League trophy to a team who's gone to the Super League? Really? Let's wait and see what happens with these things. You look at the rest of the season now, the current one we're in, we're meant to be in the middle of a top 4 race here, by the way, in England. So teams like Liverpool, Chelsea got massive games coming up in the next few days. Liverpool tonight have a big game against Leeds United that they'll want to be trying to win to get top 4. Well, it doesn't look like that matters anymore, does it? Because obviously top 4 gets you Champions League spaces. We're not going to be in the Champions League next season, the Big Six, so what's the point in playing the games? There's so many questions, everything's up in the air. This Super League is just killing the game. It looks like it could ruin football, guys, in a really, really sad and serious moment. I think obviously right now we're just hoping that this doesn't happen, basically, that we're hoping, something gets stopped here, because surely teams won't be kicked out of leagues. Surely the Premier League can't continue without teams like Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, and surely, the Champions League can't go on with teams in mid-table getting into the finals and stuff. Surely that won't happen. You look at the organisations like UEFA, for example, and the Premier League and La Liga. Can they really afford to kick out these teams for disobeying them? Or will some sort of compromise have to be reached? Let's hope they are working towards reaching one, and we hope that it's a good one. But I think it's really the ramifications of this that are scary, and you almost think of a new horrible thing that this means for football every single minute. No Champions League, potentially no leagues. What's that all about? What does this mean for transfers? Everything about the whole game, the lack of fear of losing anymore because no teams will be relegated from the Super League, the 12 teams are going to be put in, the lack of Champions League, potentially the lack of leagues with top 6 clubs in them is just awful, isn't it? And these ideas that we're seeing right now on the table, the news circling around social media platforms, it's just scary, to be honest, for the future of football, and it's just sad. And I just want to come back to that point of almost no fear of losing. This literally will cripple the sport. We are in absolutely massive moments here in the history of football. I'm talking about the lack of fear of losing. And what I mean by that is, the 12 clubs that I've just listed at the start there who go into the Super League, well, there's no way that those teams are going to be coming out of the Super League. So teams like Arsenal, for example, finishing mid-table with millions of pounds of debt, running their club embarrassingly, and now put in the Super League and given their, a card to just play against the best teams in the world every single week. And of course, their owners couldn't believe it. Let's look at some of the people who started this thing. Florentino Perez at Real Madrid. You guys will know me as a Barcelona fan. Of course, I'm not a big fan of this guy. I'll hold my tongue on what I say about him, not to get in trouble, essentially. But this guy is, a complete disgrace to football. And we know some of the other people who are working at the top of him with him. The Glazers at United. You've got Stan Kroenke at Arsenal. Disgraceful people in the sport of football. And ultimately, these are the people trying to ruin the beautiful sport. And as I said earlier, all we can hope for now is really this gets stopped in its tracks. You're hoping the players come out and boycott this, surely they won't agree to this, the footballers won't agree to this awful new way of playing football. But you get the feeling that even the compromise of this could be awful. I think a sort of Super League is going to be made either way, where teams like Arsenal, like even AC Milan, to be honest, are getting plotted in there. You know, teams like Spurs, even if you're outside the top four, it looks like you are going to be in the top European competitions for the upcoming seasons. And that just takes everything competitive out of football. It literally ruins football when you're giving free passages to teams. Because you've got teams like Chelsea and Liverpool, for example, now that I'm talking about, we're meant to be fighting to get in the top four here against teams like West Ham, like Everton, like Leicester City. Is that even a race anymore? Do we even need to win our football matches? I don't know what's going on. I've got a game against Brighton tomorrow for Chelsea, and I've gone into this week over the weekend with a semi-final against Man City thinking this is a massive game for Chelsea. We have to win this. We have to get 3 points in it. But does it matter now? If Chelsea finish 10th this season, we're going to be in the Super League next season, aren't we? We've got to wait and see what happens. Look, we're going to hope that we go out on the pitch to win the football match, and that's what teams will have to do. They'll try and be professional. But it just does put everything up in the air. You know, it makes everything mental and crazy. You know, how do players know whether they need to play or not? Whether they need to be competitive or not, who's going to be in the Champions League, who's going to be in the Super League, are we going to be banned from playing for our nations, what's going to happen to the future of football? And I think this is a good reminder to us all that the people at the top of football are just money grabbers. They're obsessed with it, they don't care about the fans, not one bit. We've already seen things they've been doing. In Spain, for example, we now hold a Spanish Super Cup in Saudi Arabia. Unbelievable. The amount of money these people grab is disgusting, really. We're seeing it from all of the top clubs now, I suppose, aren't we, really? And then, of course, there's teams like Arsenal and Tottenham who just could not believe their eyes, you know, around mid-table, you know, not winning a big trophy since the early 2000s in Arsenal's case. In Spurs' case, you know, not won a league title since 1961. And all of a sudden they're saying, come and join us, come and play with Real Madrid and Barcelona in this massive Super League and take all this money off us. They couldn't believe their eyes. I'm telling you that for free. They could not believe their eyes. They shook their hands. And people like President Bartomeu, by the way, at Barcelona, disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Goes against the values of the club. Signing on a dotted line there under Florentino Perez's name. Agreeing to play in a Super League with our arch rival as the president of it, essentially. So, you know, how does that work? I don't get it. But as I was saying, it is a good reminder that, you know, the money at the top of football is scary, it's dangerous. We're in a dangerous situation here, basically, a really scary one for the future of football. And we hope it gets resolved in the best way, essentially. That's all I can say. I think I'll wrap it up there. You know, there's hundreds of things to say, so I'm sure I've left all sorts out here. You know, you could do 10-hour podcasts on this, I'm telling you. So I think I've got across my main points. I could probably go into way more detail on a lot of them, but that's what I'm going to say on it. As I said, if any of you see the video, just feel free to leave your thoughts if you have any. And I'll see you guys maybe soon, or will I? I probably won't, to be honest. But anyway, that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Goodbye.